Hello, how you doing? Welcome back to my channel, Knowing the Inner You. My name is Tim. On my channel, I like to break down the law of attraction and show you how it applies in every area of our lives, from relationships, occupation, money, etc. Whatever it is you would like to use the law of attraction consciously with, it applies to it. And understanding makes life easier. Today's topic is being specific with the universe and yourself. Specifics are very important. It gives clarity to what we're requesting. If you're in a relationship or you're at a job or whatever you're doing in life and you are not specific, you can't expect to get the results that you really would like to have. The goal is to understand that whenever you are speaking with yourself, which is the universe, or others, you are always in a position to where you are very specific in what it is that you are requesting. Or if you're just holding a conversation, with someone and maybe expecting a response from them, you have to be specific so that they understand either that you're asking them a question or that you're holding a conversation clearly to where they can understand and determine how they would like to react. This applies to the universe as well. Now, the universe uses frequency in order for us to communicate with it. It doesn't necessarily use words. However, words have a tendency to give us a certain sensation that aligns with the frequency we're on, and that produces the communication to the universe, which is our higher selves. You can say God, universe, Brahman, whatever you choose to use, it's totally up to you. Either way, it only responds to frequency. It responds to the sensations that we have in our body, which is interpreted as frequency. This can come about when you are very specific, but it also happens when you are not specific. That's why certain things show up in our lives at times, and it's a little confusing on what it is, and we're trying to understand it. That's because we're not specific. Most of the times, we're not even aware of what we're saying, let alone how we're thinking and feeling in the moment. But being specific is very important. I've realized myself how important it is when I communicate with others. I'll say things to others and it's, in my mind, makes sense, but my delivery wasn't as clear as it could have been so that they understand me. That's usually when a person says, I don't understand, or actually what? That's because we weren't clear enough. And though it may seem like at times we are, we're not. At least I'm not. And I'm working on doing that. And I think it's very important because the moment you can get completely clear with how you're speaking or delivering messages when you're speaking to others, you are actually in turn becoming more clear with your higher self. Your higher self look for you to be clear and have clarity. That gives you the ability to know that what you are imagining with clarity and specifics, you're going to receive it. You'll probably receive it in a different manner in which you think you are going to receive it. That's totally up to the universe on how it brings it about. But you will receive what you desire when you're specific. In relationships, how important is it to be specific? Very important. This affects communication. That's why in relationships at times we struggle with communication, because a lot of times we're not as clear as we should be to our spouses. We should be in a position to where when we speak, our spouse know exactly what our intentions are. There is no confusion there. There is nothing but understanding. But if you're giving a vague response, an unclear response to your spouse, you can't be upset because they don't understand or bother, or you've been in a position to where you are, unaware of what it is they're saying, and then you get offended. Don't get offended. Understand that what's happening is a lack of communication with specifics. Being specific really opens the door for you to have better communication with your spouse, better communication in life with your kids, family, occupation, whatever it is you're involved in. It's very important to be very specific so that it is delivered exactly the way you would like for it to be. For example, if there was two glasses, two jars, or something with like liquid in each one red and one blue, and I inform someone I'm around, my spouse or whoever I'm with, that I want you to grab one of those jars. Can you get me a jar, please? My spouse, someone I'm working with, someone I'm talking to will say which one. Now, they shouldn't have to say that because I know which one I would like for them to grab. So I should be very specific. If it's the blue one, I should say, can you grab me that jar with that blue liquid in it and give that to me if I don't know the name of the liquid. But for me to say, can you get a jar for me? Look how confusing that is. So imagine speaking to the universe, your higher self, with what you want in life, but you're unclear. And then you get bothered by why you haven't received it yet. That's because you're not clear. Think about it. The person that's going to reach for that jar for me, they're going to be just as confused as the universe until I get clear and give specific requests. Can I get that jar with the blue liquid in it? Even if you chose to say on the left or right based on where the jar is sitting, that is an additional aspect of clarity. That is all we have to focus on when we're speaking and delivering things that's important to us to the people we're speaking to, including ourselves. Be very clear. Have a position to where you understand that your message must be delivered in the way that you are intending to receive it back, so that you'll know you had involvement with it, even if you're doing meditation and you're communing with the universe and you are, requesting, I want a spouse, or I want a mate, or I want to have wealth. What is wealth to you? What is the type of spouse you would like? What are these things that you're requesting? Because you don't want to be vague. Because when something shows up in your life and you have these reserved issues and feelings about it, that just shows you weren't clear and specific about your request. Trust me, I've been there before. So the goal is to get very clear on what you would like. Practice it at times. Write down in detail what it is that you would like to have from the universe. I mean, go into as much detail as possible. That is the way we actually perceive our world. We perceive our world with pure detail and clarity when we're looking at it, for those who can actually see clearly. And what I mean see clearly, having no vision impediment. That's the proper word. But being able to look at life in a way where you see all of the details of life is exactly how we have to commune with our higher self and communicate with others. We have to be just as detail oriented. If you're looking at, for instance, this chakra sign behind me, in order for me to tell you what's on it, I would have to know in details. If I give you vague descriptions of what's behind me and you were unable to see it, you would immediately try to figure out in your mind, what am I saying or speaking about, because I wasn't clear enough. It's going to take me knowing the details of that and deliver it in a way in which you understand it. Very similar to what I'm doing right now with my channel. Breaking down the law of attraction so that we understand the specifics of how it's working in our lives to produce the reality that we all would like to have, for those who understand the law of attraction. All right? So it all comes back to being specific, being very clear, getting clear with yourself first, and being able to, speak with specifics is very important as well. All of these topics that you'll hear on my channel, they're all designed to really help us get clear on what it is that we would like to have, and get clear on how to commune with our higher self, so that we'll have more control with conscious volition of our manifestations that shows up in our lives. This all still comes back to being specific. So again, be very specific on what it is that you would like to have with whoever you're communing with. Family, kids, job, anyone. And you'll see that your life have more to do with how specific you have not been, so to speak, versus when you start becoming specific, you'll see the results from that. You'll get a chance to really compare the two. I've done it myself. Even with, like I said, doing my own channel, doing YouTube, I'm learning all of this stuff, learning how to be specific, learning how to deliver the messages so that they're so understandable. Is that a word? Understanding to where I can understand them. And if I can understand it, I have to make it to where you all understand it. So again, be very specific in your delivery to whomever you're speaking with, and you'll see your life change. Also, I would like to say this. I'm learning how to do YouTube. And so my days of posting will more than likely be on Sunday and Wednesday. So look out for those days. If you're interested in any further content, hit that subscribe button. And if you like what you heard today, hit that like button. Very important. It really benefit me. All right. So I really appreciate it. Remember, take your time. Tell yourself what you would like to have in specifics. Do the same thing when you're speaking to someone. Make sure that you are being very clear so there's no misunderstanding and no ambiguity on what it is that you're requesting. I appreciate you taking our time to listen to me today. Look out for my next video. Thank you and have a wonderful, wonderful day.